Did the president say anything about what he would like you to do in this job that Noem is not?
I will never discuss private conversations. Never have. I'm not going to do that now either. But we're super excited about the opportunity, and we're going to, do the best we can. We're going to get Department of Homeland Security making sure that we stay focused on protecting the homeland. And no matter if you support me, you don't support me, I'm going to be laser focused on getting that done.
What was your first reaction to just the news that you were nominated for this position, just amidst everything and that's happening?
Humbling, because I had to call my dad, and because it happened quick, right? I had to call my wife, call my dad, both, and it's just pretty humbling when you start thinking about it. A little kid from Westville, Oklahoma, gets to serve in the president's cabinet. That's pretty neat.
Can we get your reaction to Senator Mullin being named DHS?
I didn't want to mention it before because it would have violated the confidence, but the president, when he called me Tuesday night, the night of the hearing, when he was mad as a murder hornet, he asked me what I thought about Markwayne, and I said, A, I like him. B, he's very smart. C, he's a very good businessman.
Look, I've known Markwayne now for a good amount of time. It is not about the head of this agency. It is about what the agency is doing in our communities. And obviously there'll be hearings, and I think a lot of this should be brought out. But we have an agency that is out of control, and what they're doing in our communities, what they are doing to the Constitution, their reckless, continuous violation of court orders, even Republican-appointed judges, they are routinely violating those court orders. That makes this whole agency, to me, morally bankrupt.
We just saw the first statement from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. It says, "Thank you, President Trump, for appointing me as the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Secretary Rubio and Secretary of War are incredible leaders. I look forward to working with them closely to dismantle cartels that have poured drugs into our nation and killed our children and grandchildren." It goes on to say that we have made historic accomplishments at the Department of Homeland Security to make America safe again. We delivered the most secure border in American history, and goes on to sort of tout her accomplishments.
We just got to get to some breaking news because Kristi Noem has been sacked as the Secretary of Homeland Security, and as things turn out, she's speaking right now. So let's just take this for a moment, aside from things going on in Iran.
Their powers from the consent of the governed, which is the people. The people give us the right to do our jobs each and every day. And as long as this world is fractured, and as long as human nature is fallen, we will need brave men and women who step up and serve and enforce our rights and our laws and our values. And that's what all of you do in this room with your colleagues. The heroism was on full display this last week when we saw the attack in Austin, Texas, and we saw that the first responders that helped protected people and more lives there were our law enforcement that responded immediately. Instead of running away, they ran to it. And though we lost 3 lives and saw many other people injured, they prevented so many other lives from being lost. We're very grateful that they are willing to do that and to serve in such a way. In fact, it reminded me of the quote that is often attributed to George Orwell that states, "People sleep peacefully in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalves," which means you step up in order to protect people, and you do it in a way that other people often are never going to be required to. When tragedies like what we saw in Austin take place, it's your leadership and it's your decision making that make all the difference. You use judgment, and we entrust People entrust you with their lives. You're on the front lines of leadership, and you have the responsibility of guiding and also shaping the next generation. So we thank you for that.
OK, we'll leave that there and we'll go back to Jonathan Kersley just for a bit more on this before we go back to Iran. This is only happening now. It was just confirmed about 15, 20 minutes ago by Donald Trump's Truth Social account, Jono. But, I mean, look, she was controversial, particularly when it came to those immigration raids. So was this coming?
I think there have been a lot of question marks over Kristi Noem's future for a number of weeks now. I mean, she obviously has led the immigration operations to remove illegal immigrants out of the United States and has been a controversial figure inside the Trump administration. What is clear now is President Trump is not exactly isolating her, but shifting her on in a way that allows him also to save a little bit of face by saying he's not sacking her. He's going to make her a special envoy. But this is a huge move from the Trump administration. Remember, Kristi Noem, just a matter of yesterday and the day before, facing committees here on Capitol Hill, grilled over her role, grilled over questions about a relationship with an aide, grilled over how the immigration policies here in the United States have been carried out. And go back to Minneapolis not that long ago, and we saw those two deadly shootings by an ICE agent and an immigration agent on American citizens. And there have been big question marks hanging over the fate of Kristi Noem. She now joins the likes of Donald Trump's former national security advisor, who has made his way, was moved on after the so-called Signalgate fiasco, into a role at the United Nations. President Trump is making it clear in this second administration he doesn't want to be firing people. There was a revolving door in the first administration, but this time around he's saying she's not moving on. Markwayne Mullin goes in as Secretary of Homeland Security, Pete.